we should be
Hello.
live now. Please tell us in the comments if you can see and hear us. And we wanted to introduce John and Maria from Club Drugs.
Oh,
Hello.
hi. Hello. So we have begun. Hello. This is wonderful. Thank you for being here, guys. It's a pleasure to have you. See, you're in your studio. Is that a home studio, or is where are you?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're in our home studio. I went a little bit crazy during COVID and turned a bedroom into a studio and a closet into a vocal booth. So I spend
Very
all my
good.
time here, and it seems like you have a similar situation behind you, which also looks
Yeah.
crazy cool.
This is a trailer, so it's kind of I have an odd modular lifestyle where I can move this thing around on my property. So if I get bored of one space, I go somewhere else. And it was a practical solution when I moved out to the desert. I didn't have a house, so I needed a place to create whilst making a house. Um, so I have this studio, and I keep meaning to get out of it because it's a real sort of trailer trash vibe. Um, and I keep telling myself I need to get somewhere professional, but it never happened. My whole life, actually, that never really happened. Home studios are the best.
I mean, if that's where the magic happens, like stick with what works too. Like I've seen really awesome studios that just don't feel comfortable, and there's if you feel comfortable in whatever your space is, like
Exactly.
that's what you should be.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a box, right, it can be literally that phone. That could be your studio these days.
Exactly.
Mm. So, Victoria, are you there?
That's me.
Hello, Victoria. Do you want to tell us? I forgot to put the chat up to see reactions and people and things like that. I didn't know if you can describe what people are doing.
Absolutely. So everyone can see and hear us. They're all
Okay.
saying hello. They say this is amazing. We've got a little kiss from Amanda, some hearts from Jennifer. We have Connie and Zoltan are in the house. We have Kelly B, who made it here despite some trouble with YouTube. Jill is here. Elizabeth and Jeff are here. I see some of our winners from, or our semifinalists, I should say, from the IAMX competition are
Mm.
actually here with us right now. And everyone, if you could tell us how excited you are, if you could tell the boss man how excited you are to see him, that
He
would
needs some.
be
He needs some fluffing.
phenomenal. Hannah says she is so happy to see you. Got some kisses from Mo, some hearts from Vera.
And are you happy
And
to see Club Drugs? Come on, they need
tell
fluffing
us how
too.
happy you are to see Club Drugs.
It's okay if you're not excited yet, because we haven't met each other most likely, but we're excited to be here.
Yeah, yeah, and these guys are coming on tour with us in the fall. So, um, if you're an American, or if you're not American and you just want to travel, please come and see
Or
these.
Canadian.
Oh, Canadian, yes, that's true. Um, yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be. It can be anybody, right? As long as they can travel.
We will
Uh,
allow anyone from any place to come to any show as long as they're down to party.
yeah, that
And
sounds like my kind of band.
we've got 27 dates all across North America. There's got to be one close to you. And tour starts on October 10th. So we are super excited. And John and Maria, can you tell us just like a little bit about what y'all do, what your music is like?
You.
Oh God.
Oh God, that the $1 million question, right? Horrific.
Can I see your one
You
pager?
don't have to answer that.
Can we
You
ask
actually don't have to
ChatGPT to
listen
write it
to me
for
at
us?
all.
Yeah, just put
um,
it in an AI right now. Come on, Victoria. That will solve the issue and let these people just live.
No, this is a good challenge for us. We have to get better
yeah.
at being able to talk about ourselves in non-silly ways. You try it.
I would say that we're a kind of dark synth pop band
I think
with
that's a
elements of other things here and there. We don't like we're kind of a little bit schizo with what we do.
Yeah,
yeah,
Um,
that's that.
I,
Mm.
I think that our influences are super wide. Like I come from bands, I played in metal bands, and Maria's played in like psych rock bands, but we've always loved goth music and synth music and even, like 90s alternative. So Club Drugs has become an amalgamation of all of the things that are fun to us. So it allows us to put a guitar solo on something if we feel like it, or to make something really choppy and weird and minimalistic. So it might be psychotic for listeners, but that's just all of our crazy brains coming together in one spot.
Yeah, no, what I like about your sound is that it's wider than just the one genre, and I like bands like that that kind of they're kind of pinned in a genre, but then it's appealing to multiple um mindsets, and that's what's cool about you guys. It's not stuck in one thing.
And we feel the same thing about you. I mean, we've been listening to music for so long, and it never feels like you're coming from the same spot. So it honestly, we're so stoked to be able to do stuff with you and be in the same universe because that's what we want to do. We want to bring, whatever we think is fun and bring new musical styles together. And we support, anyone that's trying to do that. So you've been a great inspiration for that. So above all, thanks for
Oh,
that, getting us here.
oh, thanks, guys. I'm gonna cry now. Yeah. So, are you? I haven't seen the show live yet. What's the setup live then? Is it? I know we're supposed to be talking about remixing, but let's just talk a little bit about the live thing. Are you? Is it just you two guys on stage,
Yes.
or yeah?
Yeah, it's
And
just the two of us. We both have a lot on our plates. We like to mix things up and to throw different things around. So Maria sings and plays synth and plays bass. I do some singing, I play synth, and I also play guitar. So it's a multimedia, multi-instrumental circus.
And drums
yeah,
too.
Oh yeah, there's drums too sometimes. So yeah, we even forget all of the instruments that we have.
so you play drums on stage? Or-
That's true. Yeah, we've
Oh,
we've
cool.
got a drum
Fake,
pad,
yeah.
Yeah,
but we like to pretend that it's real, just because we can't bring a real kit with us as much as I would love that.
yeah. The practicalities of touring is, yeah, it kind of shapes the sound as well, I think, these days, right? If you can, you end up producing music to be able to go on tour, and that's the beauty of synth music, is that it's actually doable, um,
We
even if you
also
love
run
it.
into we run into another thing too that's really exciting for us is like we write not from how do we going to pull this off live, So sometimes we end up in a spot where this is a new exciting thing, and then it becomes a little bit of a math equation on the back end of like, now how do we do this and how do we pull
Yeah,
this
yeah,
off? And a
yeah,
lot of what we're talking about our live sets is even like how do we switch from guitar to synth to drums to bass to vocals, and it's a dance. So we like that we're making life hard on ourselves, and that's a fun challenge for us.
yeah. And do you put that back into the music then? So do you go off on the road, gig a little bit, kind of see what's possible, see what actually floats and what works and what has impact, and then take that back into the recording? Or is that a thing that you do, or do you just do it
It,
before and then get on the road and forget about it the next year, or what?
a little bit of that, but also at
Yeah,
the same time, like I find myself falling in love with an instrument. I just got this new drum pad and we're loving how that feels live. And so that makes me want to go back and retroactively put more of that into the recordings, even, as we're fine-tuning new stuff. It's like we're evolving our sound as we go and finding new toys to play with along the way that we just, need to incorporate.
yeah.
For me, it's just everything is chaos. I don't have a plan.
No.
Anything I do, just whatever pops in my head. So
Whatever sounds cool.
when we get back from tour, I'm always really excited to start writing again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, so I mean, live is a perfect place to just experiment with that stuff, right? And to sort of see where your attention goes, what shiny object is next on stage, or I mean, that's the beauty of live. And I think if you can translate that into recording, it's a challenge, but I don't know. I feel like I get informed by my live performances, and it sort of enriches my studio work. I don't know if it goes the other way, because if you're spending a lot of time in the studio with synths production and electronic production, you don't necessarily, it's hard to translate that in your mind to being on stage and sort of so going out there, bashing it out, and then taking that knowledge back, I think is cool. I like that anyway. It sort of definitely informs. It even informs not just the sound, but the structures, the arrangements, the efficiency of what do I do in this spot? What would people respond to? Is it getting boring? That kind of stuff.
That's
Yeah.
super interesting too, because like both of us don't come from a studio background and we
Ah,
don't come from an electronic background. So my existence up until this band, I've been a guitar player or a drummer or a bass player with a group of four other people making live music. And then it became, how do we figure out how to do that in the studio? And I believe Maria's kind of the same way. So it's the our live presence, we kind of had to figure out how to bring that into recording, and we're kind of doing things a little bit backwards. But it's funny for us being a two-piece electronic band that has tracks, like we try to be the most acoustic
Yeah.
electronic band that we can be. We practice like nearly every day. We're trying to bring as many acoustic elements into it because when it's just tracks and vocals, I find myself craving the ability to do more,
yeah.
and we're definitely trying to take on as much as we can.
Yeah. And that's what, it's kind of the commodity that will never die, right? Live is the only thing that is guaranteed, is it? I mean, hopefully it's guaranteed to not be consumed by technology, where the flesh, like being, a person in the flesh is still a person in the flesh, and you pay to do that, pay to see that, and that is, it's kind of like a guarantee, or the only thing that I feel like the future can rely on in terms of music, because everything's being kind of consumed by AI and technology and digital. I mean, it's been happening forever, but it does feel like there's a kind of standard with live music that I can't imagine will die, um, unless you're doing holograms and shit. But that's a whole other. Well, it could be, I guess. I mean, I guess that's up for grabs too. So, are we fucked? Is this what? Are we just? You
You know,
know?
in yes and no. I have to say yes and no, but like it's part of the reason what we're so stoked to even be doing this and to be able to have a conversation with you guys, but then also with your fans, because so much of this is, for me, the whole point is creating a feeling. I
Mhm.
want to share the feeling that I'm feeling while I wrote this or while we were working on it. I want to connect with people. And there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing a room full of people who have never heard these sounds before. Their body needs to move because of it. That is this collective consciousness that, I mean, I think we're all trying to create. And so I don't think that's ever going to go away, because
Mhm.
I think that as long as there are people, we're going to need ways to connect. In the way that I do it, the way that Maria does it, and probably the way that you guys do it too, is through music. And I couldn't imagine trying to do that a different way.
That's
I
beautiful.
wonder, I like we played a show last year and this girl came up to the merch table and was telling us that she was like felt like really emotional and was crying, and then I kind of started crying, and it was like
Mhm.
this moment that we had together. And I just wonder if like AI, if like, AI is writing all these songs and they sound really accurate to like whatever, pop star they're based on or whatever, but could like AI make you cry? Like could you have like an emotional connection with something like that? I don't think you can.
Mm, mm. I mean, possibly, and maybe it's sort of more about the consumer than like. I'm sure that I always put the world into kind of 80-20, and the 20 are this kind of the tolerable percentage of humanity, and the 80% will probably just kind of float into whatever they're given, and you've got this AI thing, and I'm sure that yes, they'll be poking certain emotional um, uh, emotions in people, and I'm sure it'll work. I'm sure it already does work. I mean, I'm sure doing if you're creating maybe club music, which can be faceless, can be emotionless in a way, and it could be kind of sexy. Maybe AI's good at that. It's just about rhythm, and it's about good mixing, and I don't know. So there is, I guess, maybe there's a place for it, but the emotional connection, I think, is about the flesh, right? It's like being in maybe you cried because you were there. I don't know, but yeah, it could be the case that it does a good interpretation of what could be emotional for most people. It could do that. I mean,
It could be
yeah,
manipulative in that
yeah,
way.
yeah, totally. As can people, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's that what you described. It's definitely the collective tribal community thing, which I don't know if AI will be able to conquer. Maybe it'll push us into more kind of niches and long for that more, and we maybe become more emotional. I don't know. We'll cry more. Maybe you'll cry more at your gigs. It could be the case. I mean, I
I don't know
find
if that's
myself.
possible at this point. I think we've reached
Oh, yeah.
the maximum capacity of the
Yeah.
amount of tears
I
that we
cry
can
a
say.
lot.
Ah, that's good. I mean, those experiences are deeply emotional. I find myself super connected with the audiences, and you know, as a quite a reclusive autistic sort of person, that's where I get my emotional connection in those places most of the time, and it's extremely beautiful and very powerful and very deep. I think it goes deep because it's music, because you can't describe everything, and words aren't necessarily the best way of connecting. Music does this thing that is so incredibly powerful that it's moving to the creator as much as it is to the consumer, right? And sometimes more. I mean, I find myself incredibly moved when I see people being moved by me. That's
Yeah,
a strange thing,
100%.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know where we went there, but Victoria, are you still there? Are
I
you?
am
We
still
look back to
there. I'm
Victoria. She's
still
just
here.
sobbing.
Uncontrollably. I've just like completely lost composure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, let's share a little bit of the remix that you folks did for the X id. And when I play that for the stream, what's going to happen is while we will all still see each other, no one else will be able to see us for a moment. So I can share this musical clip and they're all going to just see the IMX ghost. That's my computer background. But how was your experience making the remix?
Stressful. And I
Yeah.
only say that because of how much respect we have for you guys in the original. And I mean, it sounds amazing. And it's really funny when we started thinking about this. This was one of the first ones that jumped out that it might be something we wanted to touch. And then I immediately took it off the list because I was afraid of it because it was so good. And I was like, there is no way that we can make this sound better. So then when you guys suggested it and it came up that we were like, okay, challenge accepted. So
Oh.
we've been living in a stressful environment for the last couple of weeks
Mm.
only because we want this, we want to do service to your work and we want to make it shine and we want, hopefully everyone likes it. So
Oh, that's fantastic. And do
that's the
you?
stressful side. Maybe you
Yeah.
have the more positive side.
I was just excited for us to do this and make it in our own language.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about, if we were to like cover it or something, and that would be a different thing. But like trying to make this a John and Maria song.
Our
What
goal
what's
was,
the?
what does a Club Drugs party feel like when we get to collab with one of our favorites?
Yeah.
You guys? My God,
Yeah,
this
let's
is an
hear
emotional.
it. I'm gonna play now.
I'm not sure you'll make the cut. Think you've lost the drive and will to win.
I am alive. I am alive. I am alive.
Oh, say it to yourself, say it to yourself. Say it to yourself, say it to yourself.
Is that all? No.
Do you want me to play more, or are people going to have to come to one of the
Oh,
27
that's true.
shows
That's
in
true.
North America to buy the tour exclusive album?
Oh God, I love that. Sounds fantastic, guys.
Doesn't it? If you come
Yeah,
to one of the 27 shows to see Club Drugs and
amazing.
IAMX.
And I love the little. Is that you, Maria? Do you added the "I'm alive"?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Thank
Oh
you.
God, it's exciting. I want to
There's more
hear it.
surprises as you get
Yeah.
through too.
Mhm.
So I love the teaser. I hope everyone gets a chance to hear it. And honestly, we hope everyone loves it because we love the original so much and we hope we did it service.
Oh, thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Can't wait to hear the full thing. And what's and do we, Victoria?
Yes.
So is that that's going to be on the the remix album, of course.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all I need to say. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just stalling.
along with
Mm.
that, we just want to say the other folks who will not necessarily be on the full release, but we have some semi-finalists from the IAMX Remix contest, and some of those people will be on the physical release, and all of them will be on an exclusive digital release later in the year. So we will reveal who's going to be on the physical album later, but I'm going to go through who is going to be a finalist and will be on the digital release. So
Can I just ask
we,
Club Drugs some
yes.
questions? Can you put them? Yes, shut the fuck up. Can you put them on my screen so I can see them?
Can you
Are
no
they
longer
there?
see them? They should be there. I can see
No,
them.
see you.
You can see me, but not them. Let me go away.
I see a white blobby shape that isn't them.
What about if we do this?
Yes, that worked. That worked.
Magic.
Now they're back. Ah, I see the power of mysticism. Are you you guys what was the process of how did you work that? Is it do you have a specific process or is it a lot of time in the box, looking in the box and working in the box and you come in, record some bits, go away?
Our process, it changes every time, in all
Mhm.
honesty. We've done a handful of remixes to date now, in everyone's a little bit different, but for this one, what we started with was kind of just stripping everything down to the core elements and what's the piece that really grabs me, and then trying to use that as the structure. And for this one, the bass just stood out above that. That was the thing that I was like, we can lean in on this.
Yeah,
So I kind of just took that and then went away for a little bit and just played against that and tried to find if this was my inspiration, how can I represent it in a different way, or how can we turn it around? And then once I make a little bit of structural kind of thoughts, then I pass it off to Maria, and that's where we get more of the vibe and the structure. And to be honest, like, we didn't even find it until it came back with more some vocal chopping. And
yeah.
so it's messy, and it gets messier, and then it gets messier, and then finally it's like we're finding our way through the dark and we end up somewhere that makes sense.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to hear the whole thing. Okay, I didn't have any more questions. That's wonderful. It's great to meet you.
We're gonna have a million more questions for you, and I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
pick your brain on process and remixes and everything, because we're gonna be spending a lot of time together in the fall, and we want to know all the
Absolutely.
things.
I'll tell you everything. You will be enlightened. That's not true. I'll try and answer questions. I like questions though. You know, I like tech and I like geeky talk, so we can nerd out together, all of us.
We can't wait. We can't wait to do it in person, and we really can't wait to meet all of the IMX fans out there. Like we said, we're gonna be on this tour. Come hang out. We're excited to meet everybody. Treat us like we're friends.
Oh, thanks, guys. Much,
Yes.
much love.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was really special to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and share our awesome fan remixes that won, or are rather semi-finalists. So everyone's a winner for submitting. obviously. And then these are our semifinalists here. So we had the most submissions for the ocean. So we have 5 finalists who mixed the ocean. So the first one is going to be the remix by Swan, who you might all know better as Nat or Hydra. We have the Styled by Crows mix of the ocean, which you might know better as our friend Susie AP. The Brooks remix of the ocean, which is Brooks Roberts, who I met at Wheeline and is an awesome fan in person. We have the Andy Cermak, who is Little Mo's husband and a really talented musician. And I'm sure that Mo helped as well on it with him and his remix of the ocean. And then we have our fan Nigel and his remix of the ocean. Neuro Symphony, we had 2 semifinalists. We have Maviotic, who is a really cool clown-themed electronic musician out of the Netherlands, and Mary Jitter. Infinite Fear Jets, the semifinalists were Nigel, and then we have another artist who's a patron who goes by Death Verified. And for Thanatos, we have Mary Jitter was a semifinalist again. So thank you all so much for participating in this I Am Mixed, and really excited to see who ends up on the physical release. And all of these folks are going to be on the digital package that's going to come later in the year.
Amazing. This is so exciting, Victoria. You did really well there. Well done. Are you reading that, or is that all in your mind?
I was reading it, but I was going to lie and say that I was just rehearsing it the entire time you guys were talking, just doing it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty autistic, so I wouldn't be surprised. Rain woman.
Thank you. That's such a nice compliment for me.
I know.
John, Maria, thank you again
Thanks,
so
guys.
much for being here. We can't wait to see you on tour. And we are going to hop out of here for now. And then our patrons will be rejoining us in the patron only stream in a couple minutes.
That was lovely.
See you guys later. Follow us on Instagram. We're at Club Drugs with no U's.
Yes.
See you later.
Say that again.
Club Drugs with no U's.
No use. Okay, guys, follow them. Follow the fuck
See you guys
out.
later.
Ciao.